What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Sting announces his retirement, an AEW star says there's no AEW versus WWE War, WWE star reveals he can never wrestle again, Survivor Series is selling big names to miss Crown Jewel, an AJ Styles update, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good. It's number 1, Slip Loose, the Dogs of War. That's great news for fans of monsters, as AEW has finally shown it's willing to book its big men properly. Wardlow continued his string of dismantling opponents with powerbombs again this week, while Powerhouse Hobbs proclaimed Don Callis is finally letting him be unrestrained destroyer that's been kept in check so many years. Even Lance Archer had a big moment in the spotlight. It's refreshing to see AEW properly book its big men after years of treating them as second-class citizens compared to its workhorses. While AEW rightfully wanted to distinguish itself from the WWE by focusing on wrestlers with solid skills, there should always be a place for big men at the top. Hopefully this change of booking isn't to get the guys like Wardlow and Hobbs to stick around in AEW when the WWE comes calling. Number 2, Shida gets to shine. Will Hikaru Shida finally get a chance to show her stuff as women's champion? Well, Shida's supporters have to be asking this after the 2 tumultuous title reigns, the first overshadowed by the pandemic and the second by a little more than a transitional reign. Now, we aren't saying that AEW owes Shida a run despite her impressive skills. Her championship reigns are something promoters shouldn't give out as prizes for being a good employee. But Shida seems to have all it takes to be a successful champion, and it's time to give her a chance to prove this. Number 3, Adam Copeland won't fight Christian. Adam Copeland's passionate promo that he won't fight Christian was just what fans expect from a babyface. While wrestling fans know it's inevitable that they'll clash, it was good for Copeland to explain why he's not bothering with Christian either for a match or a title match. Copeland's prediction that Nick Wayne and Luchasaurus will turn on him may seem a bit too optimistic, but it's inevitable, just like a Christian and Edge reunion. Number 4, MJF isn't a dumb good guy. Now, is MJF a babyface? Well, that's open to debate, as a case can be made he's still a heel, but one who battles heels who are even more hated than he is. Regardless if MJF is a babyface, he's not an old school babyface who falls into an obvious traps or situations where he's outnumbered. Not only that, but MJF isn't afraid to use heel tactics, such as when he slips some cash to Dustin Rhodes to take Jay White out of the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. And Christian's cult of personality. First things first, Nick Wayne trash-talking his mum is cheap heat, but it was effective, not only showing how low the wrestler has sunk, but how Christian Cage is able to subvert wrestlers to his way. Christian can now boast that he's convinced Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne to turn on their best friends. AEW needs to play this aspect up even more and have Captain Charisma sway another wrestler into the fold. But that was the good. What about the bad? As number 1, AEW needs to put pedal to the metal. AEW's at a crossroads as it faces increased competition, but also has new momentum thanks to CM Punk's exit and Adam Copeland's arrival. Unfortunately, last night's show was a bit meh. It had some interesting segments, but once again it lacked any matches that felt like a real main event. Wrestling is enjoying a new wave of popularity, so it's all but a given that WBD will keep AEW around. Nonetheless, there's more competition than ever, and AEW needs to step up, making every episode an event. AEW has shown it can do this, and without high-quality TV shows cannibalizing pay-per-view rates, so why isn't AEW booking its show like it did in 2019? Number 2, Battle Royal needed more stars. And last night's Diamond Ring Battle Royal was entertaining and showed how Battle Royals can be used effectively, in this case determining who will challenge MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. However, the bout was hardly a star-studded affair, and it didn't deserve the main event spot. Now, there was nothing ugly, as AEW needs to do better if it wants to deal with the increasing competition from WWE. Last night's show demonstrated some progress by establishing strong heel factions for AEW's babyfaces and working to rehabilitate the reputations of monsters such as Powerhouse Hobbs and Wardlow. What would you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, first story looks at Sting retiring. Now, it's the end of an era as a man called Sting announced his pending retirement on the 18th October Dynamite. Sting, who returned to AEW in 2020, has made the most of his return, providing fans with plenty of nostalgia as well as creating new memories. However, all good things come to an end, and Sting revealed he'll wrestle his last match at AEW's 2024 Revolution pay-per-view, which should be weeks before he turns 65. There's no word on Sting's opponent yet, but he stated in previous interviews that he wants Darby Allin to play a key role in it. The wrestler who became known as a franchise during his time in WCW, later the Icon because of his legendary status as a competitor, originally retired in 2015 after an in-ring injury during his short run in the WWE. Thankfully, Sting recovered and AEW provided him with an ideal platform for one last run. What do you guys think of Sting's announcement, and who should he fight in his final battle? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, an AEW star says there's no war between AEW and WWE. Now, while many fans and pundits think there's an active competition to rule the wrestling world, Hall of Famer Mark Henry, who's now in AEW, discussed the situation during an appearance on Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast. There's no war. You know what the war is? The war is in the ratings in your segment. Do people turn the channel to another channel when you're on? When Sexual Chocolate was on, did they turn the channel? When the World's Strongest Man and the Hall of Fame was on, did they turn the channel? You could put me up there with some of the best. When Booker T was King Booker, they didn't turn the channel, so that's where the war is. The war is in the segments and the individuals. The wrestler who worked as the World's Strongest Man said there's nothing to be gained by promotions running head-to-head against each other, and that AEW's recent head-to-head battle with NXT last week wasn't by choice. If I'm in the WWE, I don't want to be on the same night as AEW because I want all the attention. If I'm AEW, I'm not going to move my show to a day that WWE is on unless I'm preempted. That's the whole point of AEW going to Tuesday, is because we had to. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to go there and piss in their cornflakes. This is what we did. I'm telling you, it's not a war. Now, while we could be smarky and say that AEW doesn't want to be in the same night as WWE because they got pasted in the ratings, Henry has a point and has merit, as he added, a lot of reason that things happen is because of programming notes with the network. That's the only way that you should be in a conversation about going on the same channel. Everybody should have you got 7 days a week. Now, unfortunately for AEW, things could change. While there are 7 days a week for wrestling, things could change due to two new developments. The first is the rumor that CW is going to air NWA programming, and rumors that Raw could be moving to a new night depending on who acquires the TV rights. If Raw was to move to Wednesdays, what would AEW do with Dynamite? Next up, a WWE star reveals he can never wrestle again. A former WWE superstar, Tyson Kidd, can never wrestle again. Fans have seen amazing comebacks from career-ending injuries with grapplers like Sting, Daniel Bryan and Edge, not to mention Saraya, but according to Kidd's wife Natalya, his injury is much different. During a chat with Chris Van Vliet, Natty explained, "It's like where the brain and the spinal cord meet, so it's a very, very vulnerable area. And the actual medical term for that injury is called a hangman fracture. While Tyson Kidd fans will love to see him back, it's not going to happen. The good news is that Kidd is still contributing to the wrestling industry through his work as a trainer." Next up, Survivor Series is selling big. The demand for WWE tickets is harder than ever. WrestleTix confirmed WWE expanded the setup configuration for Survivor Series at Allstate Arena. The new setup accommodates a total of 15,342 seats, adding 2,784 to the previous configuration. Some fans believe CM Punk could show up at Survivor Series, but as we'll see in our next story, Punk could have returned somewhere else. As CM Punk debuting in October? Is CM Punk going to debut in October, and if so, where? Fightful Select Sean Ross Sapp was recently asked whether Punk could show up in Impact Wrestling as its upcoming 21st October pay-per-view Bound for Glory, which happens in Illinois. Sapp stated, "I know a lot of people scoff at it, but yeah, Impact would welcome CM Punk. Beyond obvious reasons, people said he was really great backstage when he visited." Next up, will some big names miss Crown Jewel? Now, a report is coming in that some big names will be absent from WWE's Crown Jewel PLE. You may recall an earlier report that WWE is running a live event around the same time, which means some wrestlers will be in the US while others will be in Saudi Arabia. Ringside News is naming names based on recent advertisements. Gunther is set to defend his title against Shinsuke Nakamura, Sky is scheduled to defend her title against Charlotte Flair, and Lynch is advertised to face Tiffany Stratton. It's important to note that these match cards can change, but as of now, Gunther and Sky are not part of the Crown Jewel event. And finally, an AJ Styles update. That's good news for AJ Styles fans, as a recent report noted the Phenomenal One is being advertised for SmackDown after Crown Jewel. There's no word on who he'll be working with, but given the fact that he was taken out by the Bloodline, fans could see Styles looking for payback. And there you have it, folks. I'll look at Dynamite as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.